guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back again with that lovely folio that we have been doing in the Build Your Own Folio series, where I've sold the physical kits and we have been making a gorgeous folio. So far we've completed the folio, and then we've come along and we've made some journal cards and things and some little bits of ephemera to just be tucking in and kind of having around in our folio. So we're just going to continue really in that same way, making some more little bits and pieces. We've obviously got like belly bands and things to fill, so you know, other bits and bobs just to go in here. Now we've also got these massive pockets that of course we can make something to go into those. So I'm just going to move the folio out the way just so that we've got less things here on the desk. Now we haven't really used much of so far the like vintage ephemera that you got. So each of the sets that I sold, you got some vintage pieces, you got some of these what do you call these, like ephemera type pieces, sorry, it's on vellum, so I'm trying to see that that's actually the right way around. These little kind of bits and bobs, and yeah, got some more here. So I'm just pulling in, you know, a variety of those kinds of things, and yep, some of the vintage pieces as well, like this. So I'm kind of thinking we will make just a little sort of pull-out piece. Now, I don't know whether I want to make a kind of journal of sorts. I mean, obviously we've got the two big pockets, so we can, you know, we can have kind of, you know, a bit of each really. This is some of the paper that I have got left. So I'm just going to, yeah, just tear that down like that. So we could definitely incorporate that. I'm thinking obviously coffee dye that, because at the moment it's, you know, white on the back. We've got that one, which is a leftover piece as well. And we have got this one also left over, and this is also left over. So I'm just pulling in all the leftover little bits and pieces that I've got here. Obviously these you got on a, if you bought the physical kit, you got them on a what's the word, what is the word, USB stick, that's the word I was looking for, a USB stick. So you've got kind of USB stick, so you can print out more of these pages should you need them. Now I have been using obviously this book, The Motor Car, which again, you know, we can obviously incorporate some of these. I saved some on purpose so that I had a few left to, you know, to make kind of bits of ephemera with. And you also, if you bought one of the physical kits, you got some tickets, and you got obviously more of these smaller, you know, ephemera type items here. So let's just pull some of these in. Okay, oops. Yeah, let's pull a few in. And then, yeah, I think I probably want to coffee dye these. But yeah, we can definitely do like a mixture of things with some of these. So, and obviously if you didn't manage to get one of the physical kits, I mean, you know, I don't know how they've sold because I'm filming this ahead. You know, it might be that there's lots left. I don't honestly know, you know, how they're going to have gone down. But if they have sold and you didn't manage to get any, then, you know, you can always play around and sort of make things with your own supplies. You know, just kind of obviously alter what you've got to kind of fit what we're doing, if you know, if you wish to. Right, just having a quick another look around to see whether I've got any more of the vintage bits, which unfortunately, I know I said this in the last video, I had tipped them all out, and now of course they are now lost and buried all over my desk. So I definitely in hindsight should not have tipped them all out. Should have really kept them in the envelope. But yeah, let's just try and kind of find them somewhere. Okay, right, well here's the envelope. So okay, so here's some of my bits and pieces. Okay, right. And I also had the envelope as well with the wax seal on it. So I've got some coffee dye here. So I just like to keep some of this, you know, ready in a cup. So I'm just going to paint on the back of some of these pages. you know, just so the backs aren't white, basically. You know, I think it just looks rubbish if they're white. So let's just pop them as we go. Well, this has obviously got mixed up with some sort of, I don't know, paint or ink or something. It's now gone purple. Not really the look, but never mind. It's all fine, you know, it will all be fine once it's all mixed in. So yeah, let's just paint this down. That one. Okay. Just moving these out the way as I go. So okay. I mean, you know, this is just a very quick and easy way to coffee dye things, is just have some coffee ready-made, you know, black coffee ready-made on your desk, that you can then just pull in as and when you need it, and then just paint things as you go. I mean, obviously this wouldn't be ideal if you were doing a whole great big volume of stuff, but, you know, for just the odd bit like this, I just find this a very quick and easy way to put the coffee down. So, whoops. Like that. Okie dokie. And this one, we're nearly done now. You know, and it's just going to, like I say, give me some bits to play with that we can make, you know, whether we do flippy pads or little journals or, you know, just paper bundles. You know, I quite like doing paper bundles at the moment. They're quite fun to do. You know, you go through phases, don't you, where you like different things. So at the moment, yeah, I'm quite loving doing sort of what I would call paper bundles. And, you know, I just literally mean just bundling kind of different pages together and holding them maybe with a brad or a, you know, a wax seal or something like that, or maybe staple them together. You know, I'm having quite a lot of fun doing things like that at the moment. So you can kind of just mix things up. Right, okay, let me just check whether I've got everything there. I have got that vellum, so I might just quickly coffee dye the vellum as well. We've coffee dyed everything else, we might as well just do the vellum as well. So, yeah. Okay, ooh. Move that out of the way. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then, what was the other thing that I thought? Oh yeah, the tickets. So I haven't used any of these tickets yet, so I'm just going to grab a couple of these and just coffee dye the backs of these as well. So yeah, let's just take a few of these. I mean, you know, I'm just going to do a few because, to be honest, the chances are I probably will want these coffee dyed anyway, however I use them. So, you know, I'll just kind of do a bunch of them. And then they're just done, whether I use them for this project or something in the future. You know, they're then just ready to use, aren't they? So, take those. Let's just take just a couple of random ones. I'm not going to do them all because, of course, you know, I'm not going to get through all of these in this folio, but let's just kind of put them together like that. Okay, we'll just save the rest for another project. Okay, so yeah, just literally splosh them with some coffee. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. Right. Okay, so probably what I should do is probably dry all these bits with my paper dryer. Paper dryer? Oh, not a paper dryer. A, you know, heat tool is the word I'm looking for. So, yeah, let's just quickly dry these off a bit. I mean, they don't have to be perfectly dry, but drier than they currently are. So, and these tickets, these are paper, they're not card, but that makes them quite nice for doing like the paper bundles that I said that I was quite into doing at the moment. You know, I quite like doing that with more flimsy paper really, rather than card. So those tickets, they actually work really nicely for those types of things. Okay, right. Nearly done, nearly done. Okay, bit of a quick dry there. I mean, obviously, because I'm doing a video, I'm not really kind of going to town making sure these things are very dry. I'm just getting them dry-ish, so they're dry enough to be using. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to that. I've obviously had some ink somewhere on the desk and kind of sploshed it in the ink somehow. So yeah, that's not the greatest, but never mind. Okey-dokey. Right. Get them all a bit drier. Okay, right. Okay. So, yeah, like I say, I mean, they're not perfect, but, you know, they're good enough, to be honest. So, yeah, what I might do is make some sort of little bound kind of booklet, I suppose. Sort of by just binding. Sorry, losing the ability to speak again. That just seems a common theme here. Binding bits of paper at one edge. So, for instance, here, I just tear that down. Okay, and then just kind of lay that with another sheet. So, for instance, this. Maybe I'll have it this way round. So then we want to obviously bind it here on the edge. Now we could use even maybe a ticket to bind that. Now I'm not sure whether... I'm not sure, to be honest. That might not really be quite so good, but I guess what we could do is kind of bind it on this edge. Right, let's do that. So I'm going to have to dry these off a little bit more. Sorry, I thought I was going to get away with it, but they're a bit too soggy. So, I mean, these really are kind of just offcuts, most of these, you know, from the other bits that we've been making. But just tying them in and bringing them in together to make some other little journaling bits. So just try this ticket, otherwise it's not going to want to glue down very well. Okay. So what I'm thinking is, if we lay this ticket down like that, and then we can glue this onto the ticket. So let's just use wet glue to do that. Okay, just going to glue that in like that. Whoops, not got that straight at all. Okay, right, hopefully that looks a bit straighter. And then this one, obviously we can glue down here, so like that on the other part of that ticket. I mean, really I could have done with ironing these sheets because yeah, they're not obviously looking too brilliant now. I might have to iron them afterwards, but we'll just kind of, you know, make do for the minute. So let's just see. Might be able to just have another ticket there. Again, I'm going to have to just glue it, not glue, dry this. Okay. So I'm just going to apply glue to the ticket itself. Okay, and just then glue that down there. Okie dokie. Like that. Obviously this is going to be folded in, so I'm just going to kind of fold it as we go. So like that. Okay, that looks all right, doesn't it? And then we could just have another piece maybe here. So sorry about this, just gonna have to dry it a bit more. So those tickets, they make wonderful hinges. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily just use one thickness because they are paper rather than card, like I say. But if you glued them together, then, you know, I think they make quite nice hinges, really. Okay. And we've got the vellum there. So I always love a bit of vellum. Right, so let's just see. I'm kind of thinking we could just have another piece, and what I'm going to do is just tear that in half. So that's just hinged on just a small part. So like that. Oops. Oh, come on, don't do this again today. This is for me the next day, so yeah, I don't want to repeat of yesterday's glue issues. Oh, that was just driving me absolutely crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So yeah, I hope I'm not going to have a repeat of that. Right. Okay, what have I done with my wipe now? Right, just grab a wipe. Oops. Right. Okay, let me just quickly mop some of this out because it's very gluey now. Okay, so yeah, we can pop this down like that. Hopefully staggering those pages a little bit. Oh dear, no. Like that, and then that can go round there. Like that. And if I just open that, we can put the other torn section of that ticket in there to hold it again. Like that. Okay. Which is making quite a nice, interesting looking hinge now, because we've got those layering up of the tickets. So that's all adding to, you know, an interesting kind of look, isn't it? Which, that's all good. So, yeah, put that down like that. That one opens. Okay, now, rather than have it all layered on that side so that we end up with quite a bulky, you know, not wanting to fold out type hinged area, I'm thinking we could then take some other bits and hinge them in going the other way. So for instance here, so this is some vintage document. Oops, might have to cut this down because this is sort of a waxed paper and doesn't really want to tear very well. So just take that like that. And I'm thinking glue this on. Oh, this might have to go around the back. So start hinging now on this side, if that makes sense. So if I put that like that, and for instance here, take this ticket, which actually in hindsight I needn't have bothered with the you know, coffee dyeing of the tickets, but we just pop that one down like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. Just going to dab a little bit of glue there in that edge. And then again, turn that over And actually, I can probably just use, like I say, a non you know, coffee dyed ticket for this. Okay, put that onto there. Like that. So that then all folds in like that, and that then folds. Actually, we were going to fold that round the back, weren't we? Oh, I folded it this way. I'm going to have to just go with it this way, I think. Oh well, it's fine. So yeah, it's okay, isn't it? Right, so we've got that one. We could then hinge another little piece off there. Maybe this piece here. Like that. So again, just going to use some uncoffee dyed tickets, because like I say, I mean, actually in hindsight, I didn't really need to coffee dye these because they're just going, you know, they're just going down here anyway. So let's just pop some glue there. Like that. And then round like that. Oh, okay, like that, and glue that down. Then that opens there, and again just glue that ticket on the inside. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, so effectively what we've got then is a whole bunch of little ephemera pieces. So obviously, you know, it's still gluing at the moment, so it's not really ideal, but yeah, when it's all glued, we can then kind of open bits out like that, which is really rather nice, isn't it? And then what you could do is actually incorporate some little flippy pads and things inside there, if you wanted to. So, for example, here, I've just got some vintage document, which we could then tear that in half. And then just maybe attach it with this piece, like that. Now, I'm wondering, do I want to actually kind of attach this to here, like that, that you would journal on, or paper clip it on? Probably staple it, I guess. Yeah, I think probably staple it. So let me just get my stapler. Like that. And okay, and I will just hot glue this down. I hope this is going to glue, because I just realised this is that waxy surface paper. So I hope I haven't made an error of judgment gluing it with the hot glue, but fingers crossed it will be okay. So you've got like a little flippy pad there that you can obviously journal on. And then we could do something similar in here. So again, let me just quickly dry a couple of these bits off, which are still drying. Didn't expect them obviously to be taking quite so much drying. So yeah, I do apologise for this. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So yeah, what we can do is obviously make another little flippy pad here that can attach on this centre part. So I'm going to just incorporate it with just some of this like deli type paper. So again, this is obviously not included in the kit, this deli paper. But you know, any kind of coffee dyed paper or anything that you've got, you know, or I mean, of course you could use plain paper. You don't have to have coffee dyed paper. But you know, any paper at all, you're just making a little flippy pad. So grab some notebook paper and just chuck some coffee on it to coffee dye it, or you know, anything really, how you wish. I happen to have some vellum here, which again this has been food coloured, but because I've got quite a bit of green already in my folio, I think that's quite a nice little addition. Maybe I will separate this out a bit. I can have like some green and some of the deli paper in there, and then maybe a ticket like that. I wonder if I want some coffee dyed paper or anything. Let me just see what else I've got laying around. So I'm just using kind of anything that I've got laying about on the desk. So this here, I think this might have been some more of the vintagey type paper that was included. It might be, it might not be, I'm not sure. But I will just take that down. I think this is probably some vintage fly sheet, it feels like it. So just going to cut it down on this edge. Okay. Like that. Like that. Okay. Should we have another piece maybe in here? Oh, and maybe another piece of that vellum then in that case. So yeah. I'll just use the rest of that vellum. You know, just kind of grabbing things really to use up stuff that's laying around. So again, just kind of like squeeze that into that space there. And there, like that. Okay. Like that. Okay, right. So yeah, that kind of is okay, isn't it? And then just, yep, staple that together. Might even get away with just 2 staples. Just going to trim this down on the edge because it's quite wide. So like that. And then just trim it across at the top, just so that it's hopefully going to look a bit more uniform at the top. Okay, right, let's get rid of all of these bits. Ooh. Okay. And just, yeah, pop that on there. So then we've got another kind of flippy pad going on. So, like that. Oops. Okay, right, let me remember how we were folding this in. So we had this bit here, this bit here, this bit here, that bit there. And then on the very front, I'm thinking, oops, I have got that little car that I coloured in the other day. So we could have that on there as well, just for a bit of kind of decoration really. So let's just take that. Okay. Pop that down. Oops. Okay, right. Well, I actually can't really remember. I haven't worked on this for a couple of weeks, or yeah, a couple of weeks it might be. And it's just awful how quickly you kind of forget what you were doing and kind of lose track of what you were doing. So yeah, now kind of on that, I've lost track now of what I had been doing. Well, that's really pretty with just a little flower on there, isn't it? Just wondering whether I could layer up a green petal or something. So let's just see. Oops. Maybe something like that in there. And to be honest, I'm even wondering then whether we might have a ticket kind of stapled on, or maybe not. Let me just see what some of my little bits were. I've got the blue. Or this one. Oh, that's really nice, isn't it? So maybe just have a bit of label. Again, might have to tear it down. So yeah, maybe just have the label on there. Like that. Okay, oops. It's really nice, isn't it? And then just, yeah, going to just staple these together. Like that. Staple that there. So yeah, just going to staple these. Oh dear. Kind of bending the, oh gosh, bending the petals in here. So not making a good job of stapling this together, obviously. Yeah, could do miles better with this. Yeah, okay, so going to kind of, yeah, pop that down. You know, I'm actually wondering whether it's not really needing that now. Perhaps I won't bother. I have got this pink flower trim, which we could have. Just take a bit of that. Also got some of the green lace, just a tiny little scrap here. Let's just see. Again, just get rid of that header part. I always like to get rid of the header part from it. Okay. Oh yeah, that's really nice. So, right, let's just put this down here on the side. Oops. Like that. And then the flower. Like that. Oh, how gorgeous is that? Now, obviously on the back, you've just got this section here, which you could obviously journal on. But again, I'm thinking, could maybe put like another flippy pad on the back, just to give yourself sort of extra journaling space. So let me just see again what other, you know, scrappy bits of paper I've got laying around that I can just form a flippy pad from. So, yeah, I've got here. Okay, I've got just some sheets here that we could just pop down. Okay. Like that. Okay. Yeah, like that. And might we want some more of our coffee dyed bits on here? Like that. And then just grabbing a couple more of those deli paper bits, just because, you know, they're really quite good to just get some extra pages going. Like that. Okay, and just then staple that together. Okie dokie, and that then can just all get stuck on the bottom of that. So you've got then effectively a kind of like flippy pad on the bottom of the stack. You know, so you've got quite a bit going on in here. You've got a gorgeous stack that, of course, you know, lovely to open out. You've got journaling space in several of the, you know, several of the areas. And then you've got, you know, a couple of flippy pads tied within, or not tied within, but, you know, in here like that. And then you've got obviously a flippy pad on the back as well. So, I mean, I think that's really quite cool. I have to say, I'm just thinking that I would quite like another flippy pad here, I think. Yeah, I wasn't kind of thinking that at first, but I think actually it would look rather nice. So I'm going to do a tiny one, just using a couple of tiny little bits. So I've got little tiny scrappy bits of the deli paper as well. This one I could probably do with cutting down. So just cut that down here on the side. And I'll just tear it across at the bottom slightly, because otherwise it's probably a little bit on the long side. Okay, and then these, just gather these together and just trim these down. So these are just literally the offcuts, you know, from the other bits that I've made. So we can have a couple there underneath here. This one here, that one there, like that. Okay, and then these here. Okay, right, so we can then staple all that together like that. Okay, and yeah, let's just tear that down. Okay, right, let's just see. So I'm just going to cut the edges of this down, just because obviously this is quite small, so you know this space is quite small. We need it quite a small flippy pad. So yeah, it would just about fit on. I might need to trim it down slightly more at the side. Okay, let me get rid of those bits of rubbish. So it's just like a little scrappy ephemera stack, really, you know, filled with flippy pads. So an ephemera stack filled with flippy pads. But how cute is that? You know, quite a bit of journaling space, all filled in this gorgeous little squishy kind of bundle. And obviously it's got a really squishy, gorgeous, yummy feel to it. So yeah, I just think really, really scrumptious. So that's kind of another little piece that we can obviously put into the journal. So then I've got obviously the envelope, which, you know, if you bought one of the physical kits, you will have all got an envelope here with a wax seal. So there's no reason why we can't obviously incorporate this into the folio as well. And I think what we could do is make a little journal from this. So again, what I'm going to do is just take some of the decorative papers. Now I have now just obviously put glue on those. Glue? No, not glue, coffee dye. So I'm not going to kind of use those. I'm going to just, yeah, save those. I mean, I don't know really why, but it just seems a bit wasteful to, you know, have coffee dyed them and then glued them down. So I'm just going to instead use some bits that I haven't coffee dyed. So like here. Okay. And we can just then pop this like that. Okay. So like that. I could probably do with my glue spreader. And where have I put that is the question. Oh, always a bit of a nightmare. Oh, here we go. Right. So like that. Now, I've obviously got some of these gorgeous images with the cars. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tear this one down. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? Love how that looks. That's so pretty. So yeah, let me just pull in a couple more bits and pieces to decorate this up with. Okay. And then maybe just having a look, because I mean obviously you know, we also got the die cut packs, which obviously, you know, everyone has again got different things in their die cut packs. So, you know, just because I've got one thing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have got that. In fact, probably you haven't, because obviously all the die cut packs are different. You know, I do want to kind of emphasize that. And I know that I have said that lots of times, but yeah, just really want to kind of, you know, make that really clear. because, you know, I'd hate for people to kind of be disappointed if they then didn't get things that they were, you know, hoping to get. So, yeah, let's put that one on there. So I'm just using kind of scraps and things that we have obviously, you know, torn up with other things, but that have come from like the little ephemera type pieces. So it's, you know, it's all stuff that was in the kit, but I'm just, you know, trying to kind of obviously make use of it and, yeah, utilise things in a good way. So just glue down this book image. So this is obviously one of the book images from the Ladybird book, which again, you know, everyone has got different Ladybird books. Mine happened to be of the motor car. But everybody will have different things. Okay, so that looks really nice, doesn't it? And then, yeah, I've got this blue label, which was obviously part of the, you know, my lot of die cut pieces. Like I say, obviously all of those are different. So, you know, I can't guarantee what you're going to have got. They're all different bits. Oh, just wondering whether I want to have this the other way around. Oh, how nice does that look? So just pop this one down up the top. Like that. And then this one down here. Now I'm just wondering whether I want to have a bit of lace or anything. So just hunting around to see what have I done with the rest of my lace. Right, well, as usual, I now can't really find all of my stuff. So unfortunately, because I've not now worked on this for a couple of weeks, my stuff is now all buried on the desk. So it's now a bit of a mystery where some of my bits have gone. But yeah, hopefully. Let me just have a rummage and see whether I can just find that lace at all. Hold on. No, of course I can't. That would be far too straightforward, wouldn't it? To be able to then find the lace. Oh, here we go. Right, well I can't find the lace that I had originally been using, so I'm just going to pull in some more lace from my lace packs. Oh, I've got some here. Hold on. Yeah, I've got some that had dropped onto the floor, so let's just pull this in. Okay, so it's the ivory lace. Now I'm just going to cut this edge off because I really like to kind of make it all frayed looking. Okay. Yeah, for me, I just think that looks really nice once it's all frayed like that. Now, where do we want the lace is the question. Maybe up there. Just cut these flowers down. Okay. Oh, I mean, how gorgeous does that look, to be honest? Absolutely love how that looks. So we just pop this down here. Like that. And just check whether I want to have flower on at all. Just wondering whether we might even want one of those tickets or anything. Just take that down. Might be kind of too much. Let me just check whether I want that coming out from under there. Okay, well we could maybe do that. So I'm just going to staple this together. It's a little bit soggy still because it's not really dry. So yeah, you have to excuse the sogginess. Right, let's just glue this down. Okay. We'll just glue this lace down. I mean, I'm just using hot glue, and I say it all the time, but, you know, if you haven't got hot glue, you don't have to have hot glue. You know, I love using the hot glue. I find it very quick and easy, and, you know, when you're doing a video, of course, you just want things that are going to be quick and easy. You don't want to be kind of you know, zapping up everybody's time, you know, watching you kind of dribble things out. So, you know, that's why I like to use the hot glue, but of course you don't have to use the hot glue. Right, so then what I can do is obviously add a bunch of pages here. Oops. I have to say, this is quite gluey still. So, you know, I might have to actually cover this with some paper. Again, it would probably make more sense to do it with some that I haven't actually coffee dyed. Just being really, really stingy there. Not wanting to use the coffee dyed paper. I mean, how crazy is that? But, right, just move something else out of the way from another project. Okay, right, I have got several things on the go here, and yeah, it's all getting a little bit squashy, so I do apologise. Okay, let's move that one out of the way, and move this. Oh, what? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right, was looking for obviously some papers to put in the inside to, you know, make some sort of small journal here. So yeah, got some paper here. Okay, right, move this out of the way. Okay, so yeah, we could probably have them that way. Or do I want them that way? I mean, that obviously is a bigger journal, but maybe it's too big. Oh, well, let's try that, okay? So I'm just going to take those down and then probably make it to about here. So if I just kind of cut roughly. I've broken my own rule there of cutting towards the edge. You should always really cut into the folded edge, because otherwise you do get this kind of tendency for the paper to want to splay out, you know, which then is not straight. And I try and stick to that rule. As it happens, it didn't really do it too bad, but sometimes when you cut away from the folded edge, what can happen is by the end it goes like that, and that's the kind of edge you get. Whereas if you cut into the fold, it stays much straighter. So that would be, you know, what I would recommend really for when you're cutting, is try and cut into the fold rather than away from the fold. Right, okay, have I got any other sheets that I want to incorporate in here? I probably have, but yeah, I'll probably have to search around for some bits. Let me just see. This under here. No. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure where all my other bits are. So, oh, I have got. Oh, I don't know. Right. Yeah. So I probably have to just do those just for the time being. So actually, what I'll probably do is take this to my sewing machine and stitch those in. And that will be, you know, a little journal. So I might just quickly finish this off maybe with a car image, because I've got one or two left that I'd saved, obviously, from the car book. So we could probably, yeah, probably incorporate these somewhere. Yeah, let's just tear these down. Okay. Maybe something like that. Yep. So I'm going to put those on there, and then, like I say, I will stitch this on the sewing machine probably straight down like that spine of the envelope. So when I say the spine of the envelope, I'm just literally talking about along the fold here. So just stitch that in so that my pages are then, you know, attached into there. And then what I'm going to do is to get around this, rather than having to line the envelope, although I could, because when I was searching on my desk, I did then suddenly find all these. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take some of that lace here. And then I'm going to just incorporate that here and glue that onto that edge. So if I just take that down like that, okay, and then just cut that in half. And again, you know, I quite like that raggedy kind of look. So, you know, I'm not too worried if it's straight or not. Like that. Pull that out a bit so I've got some frays and it doesn't look so, you know, uniformy. Like that. And then I can just have this down one edge and then this one down that edge. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this down. Actually, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this. Okay, there, one, and the other one, like that. Just leave my pin in there. Okay, and then, yep, Fabri-Tac here, glue that one down. And then I'm just going to trim that off just at the edge, like that. Okay, right. And that's going to stop that glue from sticking this onto here, if you see what I mean. So instead of lining the envelope, I've just literally, you know, covered up the glue edge by the lace. And it also looks then quite pretty here on this side because it's got those little frayed kind of lacy edges, which is rather nice, isn't it? So that's going to go like that. Now we could have a little flower or something on there as well. Just kind of keep that on the theme, or in the theme that we've kind of had going on. Just see what else I've got here, because I've obviously got some bits from my die cut pack. I'll just see if we've got any bits that I want to use from the die cut pack. I've also got my sheet of stamped pieces, but again, I now can't see that. So would you believe? Now mislaid that. So I've also got these little bows, which we could have a little bow. So yeah, I mean, we've got a number of different things that we could have. I mean, the bow's quite nice, to be honest. We could have even one of these here. So let's just glue this down. You know, just so as we've got some interest, basically. You know, so as it doesn't look like just the boring old plain dull envelope. So just glue that one down. Like that. And then the bow just there. Like that. Okay. Oops. Like that. Okay, so yep, I'm going to stitch this obviously on the sewing machine, and that's just then a little journal, and of course then you've got the pocket in there as well. So super pretty. And yeah, and don't forget we've obviously also made the little envelope stack as well. So I need to look through and see how many more things that we need to make actually to put into the pockets, because it might be that we're almost there now. So I will either be back with a couple more things to make, or I will be back with a flip through and a, you know, stuff off the folio and a flip through. So we shall see. So yeah, I hope that you're feeling inspired. I hope you are having a wonderful time. If you bought the physical kit and you've been making this along with me, I hope that you've made some really lovely things and you've really enjoyed the process. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.